Hi everybody, today is the 5th of March and we're gonna tell the pen story. This pen story has changed a lot of people's life and shed light into why something happened to our life and how we can create and manifest our dream life in a very certain way. Are you ready? Let's get started, okay? What is this? It's a pen. What do we use this pen for? To write. Now there's a dog inside the room. I'm gonna wave this in front of the dog. What does the dog do? The dog probably will sniff, lick, or chew this slate. Does the dog see this one as a pen? No. So for the dog, this one is not a pen, but for the human, this one is a pen. So who is correct, the dog or the human? The answer is both correct. For the dog, this one is a chewing toy, while for the human, this one is a pen to write. The dog is correct in the dog world, and the human is also correct in the human world. So that is our first lesson. Both are correct. Now, let's imagine that there is a table in front of me. So I'm going to put this thing on the table, and then both the dog and I will walk out the room. So inside the room, there'll be no human, no dog. What does this thing become? It is still a pen or chewing toy. It becomes almost nothing, and the ancient wisdom called this one as the emptiness. The emptiness is actually a very magical definition. As we understand the emptiness, we'll be able to achieve anything in our life. Just like Yushi Roach applied the emptiness into his business and was able to build a business with revenue of $250 million a year. He's also able to help several refugees. So what is the emptiness? Why is that so magical? Let's go back to the pen story, okay? So this thing is currently on the table, and when there is no human, no dog, it is almost nothing. But as soon as I go back into the room and I look at this becomes a pen. When the dog comes back to the room and the dog looks at this becomes a chewing toy. And when both the dog and I come back to the room at the very same time, and we both look at this at the very same time, what does this thing become? It becomes two things, a pen for me and the chewing toy for the dog. So a single thing when there is no human, no dog, or to be exact, nothing to interact with. It's come back to its true self and we call it the emptiness. However, because it has the emptiness, it also has the potential to become anything or anyone depending on what or is looking at this at the very moment. So that is our second lesson. Along with the emptiness, we all have limitless potential. Now, I see this as a pen. So does this pen coming from me or does this pen coming from the thing itself? This pen is actually coming from me. Why am I so certain? Because if this thing is a pen itself, then the dog or anything in this entire universe will have to see it for what had been planted earlier into. So, um, so this pen coming from me. Why am I so certain? Because if this thing is a pen itself, then the dog or anything in this entire universe will have to see it for what it is, which is a pen. But does the dog see this one as a pen? No. So this pen is actually coming from me. This pen is actually coming from my mind, and everything is actually coming from our mind. So that is our third lesson. Everything is actually coming from our mind. So now, moving on to the fourth lesson, okay? We all agree that this pen is coming from my mind, right? So I'm going to change my mind and I'm going to wish that this becomes a diamond, okay? So please pray with me. Diamond, diamond, diamond. Open my eyes. It's still a pen. So what in my mind that forced me to see this as a pen but not a diamond? There are seed inside our mind that the ancient wisdom calls as karma. When we see something, the seed inside our mind pop up, open up, and cover this and make that seed for what had been planted earlier into our mind, which is a pen. So how that happen? Let's see it, okay? So I'm gonna hold on to this. I'm gonna say that I have a pen. Would you like to have this pen? And when my friend say yes, please, I'd be so happy to give this to my friend with the hope that I can help my friend. So when I give this to my friend, this palm will open up and both me and my friend will see it. And it's start leaving mark in my mind. A couple days later, when I see this, I recognize this one as a pen, which means that the seed of the pen has already been planted into my mind. And now I pop up, open up and cover this and make me see it for what had been planted earlier into my mind, which is a pen. This is how a pen become a pen, or anything surround us become what and who they are to us. In the pen story, there are several meaningful lessons. Today, we went over 4 different lessons. The first lesson is both are correct. So we learn to respect each other's opinion, we learn to respect each other's choices, and we learn to listen to each other with a compassionate heart. So with that, we learn to give the seed of happiness into any of our relationship, because in the end, the seed of happiness, in all kind of relationship, we learn to be listened to be heard, to be listened, to be respected, and to be respectful of all, to be respected of all our choices and opinion. The second lesson is, along with the emptiness, we all have limitless potential. So, we trust our potential, we trust the potential of within or everyone surround us, and trust whatever happened to us. Because in the end, if you believe in the potential, and then if you keep believing in your potential and anything anyone surround you, then things will turn out to be good as long as you do the fourth thing. So what is that? Now let's go to the third lesson, okay? So the third lesson is everything is actually coming from the seed inside our mind. So when we learn that, we learn to, to be responsible for whatever happened to us, and we don't blame anyone, because in the end, you are the only one who can plant the seed into your mind. And the final lesson is how to create or manifest your dream life by doing 3 things. Okay, so first, no, actually, we're doing 2 things. Okay, so first, you have to know what you want to create or manifest in your life, and then the second part, you start planting it using your word, using your action, and using your thoughts. So, for instance, if you want to have a happiness, you have to plant the happiness seed using your word, your action, your thoughts, helping yourself and other people to be happier. If you want to have prosperity, then you have to plant the prosperity seed using your word, your action, your thoughts, helping other people and yourself to be richer. And if you want to have wisdom, the same thing, using your word, your action, your thoughts, helping other people and yourself become wiser. And just like that, whatever that you want to do, making sure that you use your word, your action, your thoughts to with yourself and other people to plant that very seed. And when you combine everything, you will see that as long as you trust your potential, you trust everyone or everything surround you, and just whatever happened to you, potential, seeing that, and you use that seed, plant it in using your word, your action, your thoughts. Eventually, that potential will become you. You're gonna get that potential, and everything is actually coming from the seed inside your mind through your word, your action, your thought. So your current word, action, thought is what gonna dictate your future life. So be very mindful of what you talk about, what you think about, and how you act toward yourself and other people. And the lesson that I would like to share with you all today is that you can see that I actually get my hair cut, right? And then it's coming down. So this is the second time that I did it in Vietnam already. So I actually like after 2 years I will get my hair cut really short so I can donate my hair for the breast cancer Vietnam association. And I think that is a very meaningful action. When we have something, it just takes us time to grow our hair, right? But then some people, the less fortunate one, would be able to use that hair so that they can look better, they can gain their confidence, and that is something I feel very, very magical and something that I'm very, very committed to do. And every time when I do that, normally previously, like when I was young, I didn't like to get my hair cut at all because I feel like, oh, I look horrible. But now, every time I get my hair cut and do this, I feel very happy. And it just is when you give the joy to other people, that is when you get the joy back, and it's actually even happier. So I'm feeling very blessed and fortunate that I'm be able to do that. and then find the joy into doing that. And thank you everyone for listening to me today. Thank you Anil for accompanying me in this 3,000-day journey. And if by me sharing with you the pen story or my lesson is something good, I would like to dedicate that to my church family, to my friends, to my coworkers, to my clients, to my neighbors, or anyone in this any living things in this world, or any other words with love, wisdom, and gratitude. Thank you. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.